Welcome back, guys, to Entre Nos. I'm Evelin and my co-hostess
Alondra.
And today I want to talk about, I'm going to start the episode pretty sad.
Okay.
So I seen I had seen a TikTok about like a mom going crazy in court, right? And she was basically saying like, yeah, that she admitted that she killed her daughter and her son. Mm-hmm. But the reason she killed her daughter, I think her daughter was like 12 or 11 years old and the son was like younger, like probably 7, 8. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, yeah, I killed that B. Right? Like I see, like
her daughter.
She was talking about her daughter like that, and that she killed the son or whatever. But the reason is because she's saying that her 2 kids molested her younger kid, which was like a 4-year-old maybe,
a girl or boy,
a boy that they molested, that they raped him, right? And that's why she was going crazy. Like she looks crazy, like on the TikTok videos, like she looks scary.
Psycho.
Yeah. And so basically, this was what I wanted to talk to you about on the last episode, right? But I didn't because I kind of wanted to... I knew that there was a documentary on it, so I watched it. And it's on... Where is it? I want to say it's HBO Max. Yeah, on HBO. I think it's an HBO. And it's like Living with the Devil or something like that. Or something within that, right? It's a crime documentary. So then basically I watched it, and the whole documentary is the older daughter talking about what really happened, right? So what happened was that the mom
the older daughter's old.
Now she's like over 18.
Okay,
but at
so
the
she
time,
had 4 kids and she murdered 2 of them.
Yeah, she had 4, which is the older, and then she murdered the 2 middle ones, and then the baby. Yeah, the baby's alive. Yeah. So then she's the older daughter is basically saying that the mom was in a relationship or whatever, but then the whole time she was in a relationship, like siempre se enojaba. She was very aggressive towards the guy or whatever. They would always be fighting. Like she would have like anger. She would have like outbursts of anger, and she was like always like enojada, you know. So then the guy ended up leaving her, and then she's like, and I just feel like with time, her anger, instead of going towards like something else, it ended up going towards her kids, right? Which is so sad porque they show the kids pictures y se miran bien like
malnourished and stuff.
Yeah, no se miran malnourished in the pictures, pero the daughter was saying, she's like, we used to eat canned potatoes. That was our dinner. And the mom would like basically be like, this is what I have and this is what y'all are gonna eat. And she would tell the older daughter, and you're gonna watch him because I'm leaving tonight. It said she would take off and go party or whatever.
And the oldest one was how old when this was going on?
I don't remember like how old 14, she was. Maybe yeah. And so that happened, right? And she said that CPS would go to her house, like le hicieron checkups y nunca cacharon nada. And one of the time, well, I'll get into it, right? So that happened. So basically all of them were very malnourished or whatever. So then when the boyfriend left the mom, so the mom ended up, she would go out a lot in la noche. And then she said that when the mom would be home during the day or whatever, mind you, this whole time everything's happening, she's not paying the rent. Oh. Right? So then basically...
Vive en apartamentos.
Parece como una casa.
Duplex or something.
Something like that. And like a townhome maybe. I don't know. And so that happened, right? And then she started kind of like abusing the daughter. No, she started abusing the son, the little boy.
Like hitting the...
Like le sacaba, cuando se enojaba, like the older daughter said that she would beat them really bad, like all of them, right? So she's like, it was to the point that sometimes she would beat them, and the older daughter would grab whoever she's not beating and make them watch TV, because if they would look back, she would want to beat them too.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So she was like,
what the heck?
Like it was so crazy. She's like in the documentary, like you could see kind of the mom in the background, like blurred out, and then like if she's hitting the kid, and they're like the older daughter sitting with the younger siblings, the other 2,
making them watch TV so that they don't look at what's going on.
Yeah, and she's like, and I just can't get out of my head like los gritos, whenever she would beat us, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I don't think I always say like if we were to ever, like when we hit our kids, it's always supposed to be on their butt, Or I used to hit Milo like this. I think I've said it, like I don't do that no more because it really hurts.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened. And then she said that at some point, the little brother, the baby one, the toddler,
yeah,
I don't know how old he was. I forgot the ages. But that he was playing like with two toys. And como que, not that he was like humping them, but it kind of gave off that vibe. So then the mom was like, who showed you that?
Yeah.
And then he was just like, but it's not like he did it intentionally. It was just like a
game.
Like, like he was just playing with the things.
Yeah.
But the girl said not humping. She said like bumping, you know. She was like, he was like bumping the toys or something like that. Like it could be like they're crashing each other or something. And the mom assumed that she was like he was playing like sex or whatever. So then that cuando hizo eso, la mom le dijo al niño, al chiquito, who showed you that? And then the little brother was sitting in the couch, right? And then that she's like, she looked at the little brother. She's like, is he doing that to you? And the baby said no. And he's like, are you sure? Like, basically threatening the kid, the toddler, like, tell me he's doing, like, basically lo forzó a decir que sí.
Yeah.
You know, porque tanto que le estaba preguntando y preguntando y el niño le decía que no. Y luego que le dijo, if you don't tell me right now, I'm going to whoop you. Like, kind of like that. Como que...
Threatening him, yeah.
Yeah, forcing him kind of to say yes, right? So then he said yes. And then that she grabbed the other brother, que es el que le sigue, you know? Y que se lo llevó para arriba. And then like that she would beat him. Nunca le dio de comer. Cuando venían cuando venía la familia, le decían que estaba con el papá. Y lo tenía en el cuarto.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that she was beating him like... every day, every time she would get mad or something, she would go beat him. Like he was like basically prisoned up there. Yeah. And then it got to the point that he was about to die. So then the mom told the older sister, hey, he's not feeling well. Come say goodbye. So then that the older sister, she was just like shook, you know, because she's like, I would see him and I just felt like I was so scared of my mom, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know? She's like, every time I would leave the house to go to school, my mom would say, like...
Threaten her.
Yeah, la amenazaba. Yeah. So then she said that she did get a chance to hug her little brother and, like, kiss him, you know, goodbye. And then that he took his last breath. Like, she saw that, you know?
Are you serious?
Yeah. And the mom was right there. But the sister was holding the brother, and he took his last breath. And then that the mom made the older sister help her wrap him up in like cobijas or something, and then she threw him in there in the freezer de la carne, like the meat freezer. You know how it's like a regular fridge and then there's the other white ones kind of and then that she's like, I was so scared to walk by that freezer or whatever because I could always think of my brother, like he was there and I just couldn't do anything. You know. So then that happened. That's the first baby she killed. And then she's like, I don't know what happened to my mom. She was okay, let's say for a few days or something.
Like no anger issues, no.
Yeah, nothing. Como que she got kind of scared, like, oh shit, I killed him, right? And she's like, se calmó por unos días, like she calmed down for a few days. And then out of nowhere, the anger started again. And this time she started asking the little brother, did your sister do this too? Like the other sister, not the older one, the middle one, right? And then that the little brother's like, no, you know, she's like, the same thing again, like threatening him, like, you better tell me she did. Yeah. You know? And then he ended up saying yes. It took one time for him to say yes. And then she did the exact same thing to the other sister. Se la llevó para arriba. But with the sister, CPS came to the house. And she made...
Who was calling CPS on her, though?
I want to say it was one of the teachers in the school. Okay. Yeah. Because when family members would come, she would play it off. She's like, she would pretend she was like the nicest mom. And it was not the case, you know? Yeah. So then, and she was so scared to speak up because she was so scared of her mom, you know? And then, so that happened. CPS came and she's like, it was so crazy. Like, she made the older sister como clean the splashes of blood on the wall. De tanto que le pegaba a la niña. And the older sister would clean it. And then they put cobijas, like on the bed. Yeah. And she put the other daughter under the bed and she told her, you better not talk. Like, or she's going to whoop her.
CPS came.
Yeah, when CPS came. So when CPS went to the room, the daughter was under the bed. Only if they had checked, they could have prevented everything. Wow. But they didn't check. you know. And the mom spoke and made a comment to let the little sister know, like, you better stay quiet, kind of. You know what I mean? So that the little girl kind of knew that the mom was in the room, so she couldn't make any noise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then that happened. CPS left, nothing. Se quedaron con la mamá. No se los quitaron, right? And then again, she lied. She said that both kids were with their dad, you know, not with her.
Yeah.
And then...
So they never went to go do a welfare check at their dad's house?
They didn't say that. I don't know if they did or not. But yeah, that happened. And then, so the little girl was under the bed. CPS didn't do anything. And then I don't know the time frame of how, you know,
how
after
long did
that.
she stay alive?
How long she stayed alive, I don't know. But then she said that basically the mom kept beating the little girl up. The little girl wouldn't go to school. And now the older daughter was the only one going to school. But every time she would leave the house, she would still get threatened. So she was so scared. She's like, there were so many times she wanted to tell this one teacher, but she was so scared that if she did, she's like, that the mom le decía, if you go, you can escape. But me and the little baby, the toddler one, won't. That she was going to kill the toddler and kill herself. Like, así la asustaba, you know. And imagine in a kid's mind, like, you're just, like, scared shitless, you know. Especially if it's your mom, like, you know. So that happened. And then she said at some point, I think she came back and she was like, hey, your sister's not doing well, you know. Pero this was more sad porque she's like, my sister como que le pegó a la cabeza a la niña, and she's like that she can kind of see stuff because she would like hit them so bad, like las sangraban bastante, you know. She said that the little sister, she ended up not fully dying, but the mom was like, I'm tired of this bitch. And she just wrapped her up and made the older sister help her put her in the freezer. And she's like...
And she was not completely dead.
And she was not completely dead. And she said, the older sister says that it's forever in her mind that she knows her little sister was still breathing when she was in the freezer. Nomás because she just couldn't move because she was just...
So she's kind of suffocated.
Like, or she froze to death, kind of, I think. I'm assuming, like así, pero pues she couldn't get out because she was so hurt, like she was so beaten, you know. She was so weak and she was wrapped up, you know. She couldn't fight. And that she's like, at least with my brother, I knew he passed away and I was able to say goodbye, but with the little sister, the mom no la dejó que le diera, like she was just like, I'm tired of this bitch, and then just wrapped her up and threw her in there. She's like, she'll die anyways or something like that.
Dude, what the heck?
I know. And then I'm assuming this whole time she's not paying rent, right? So then she ends up getting an eviction notice. And the eviction notice, the older sister said that she was so scared that she would be next.
Yeah.
Because she's like, she already did it to them.
It's only
what if she asks the little brother if I did something, you know? Yeah. And then she ends up getting an eviction notice. And como que she was just like, the mom was just like, I give up.
Yeah.
You know, so she walked her and her little brother to the neighbor and said, hey, I killed my 2 other kids, you know, whatever. And then the neighbor called the cops. And she just turned herself in. And then in the TikTok videos, she's like, yeah, I did it because they did this. And then there's more videos now that the documentary it's been out, right? This is kind of like an old case. I wouldn't say it's like, I don't know, I don't remember,
like 2017 or something.
Yeah, it's not like this year, you know, or anything like that. It's probably like 2 years ago or something. The documentary came out, and then the mom, there's a video like on TikTok where the mom's calling the daughter saying like, you're lying, like you calling the oldest, or doing, it's her voice basically saying like, because the mom's very like outspoken, you know. She's like, oh yeah, like they did this, like why wouldn't I do that, kill them, you know, basically. She's admitted to the court that she did kill them, and she's calling them out of their names, you know, stuff like that. So she called, basically there's like, it's a message addressing the older daughter, like, you were there, you know what they did to the baby, like why are you lying, kind of. And but the older daughter hasn't,
her.
The older daughter hasn't, like, there's nothing like where she's responding to the mom, you know. But like in this case, it's really looking like, okay, either the mom is really crazy or she's really like, or something really did happen, you know. What would you think? Like, are you believing the older daughter or are you believing the mom?
The older daughter.
Yeah, me too. Because I was like, it could be where it's like, okay, maybe she was defending her son.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why. But I just feel like it doesn't have to get to the point where you kill your 2 kids, you know, like, not like that, you know. But then I'm just like, the anger, you know, like
even because of anger, you can start being delusional and start feeding that anger with lies that are not really true.
And I really think that's what happened to her.
And then, I mean, like, the little kid is so vulnerable. Like, he doesn't want to be whooped. He knows how his mom is, even though he's, like, a toddler, right? So he's scared of his mom, too.
Yeah, and that's what the older sister said. Like, basically, she scared him into saying yes. Mm-hmm. And that's why, like... But it's just such a sad story, you know, because I tell... like, I think to myself, right, like... Damn, the older sister really saw her 2 little siblings pass away, and she had no control. She couldn't do anything.
Dude, and it sucks for both of them, because even when the little one grows up...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He's going to grow up to think, like, maybe I did this. Like, I caused all of this.
Yeah. Literally, just because he said yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, it's so sad, you know, that... It's so crazy, because it's just, like, she was not mentally okay, obviously, you know? But I don't know, like, things like, honestly, that's why I took a break, like, a few days, like 2 or 3 days.
From watching all these crime stories.
Yes, because I feel like I was really, like, damn, like, carrying with that, you know. And it's funny, because I told Roland, and now I'm watching, like, a show that I know it's a funny show, and I just need the laugh, you know. But it's just one of those, it's in the background.
Es como preocupada.
Yeah, like, I you know, I saw the documentary, the sister was saying, like, the older sister, she has, like, scars. Like, she has a scar right here on her lip, and she said that the mom le pegó con una curling iron.
Yeah.
En el labio, se lo reventó, and even chipped her tooth. Ooh. And then when the tía came, she was like, oh, what happened? And the mom had made up this whole story that the little brother had hit her.
With the toy or something.
With the car toy. And then she's like, yeah. And that the tia's like, well, let me take you to the dentist so you can go get it fixed. And then that the mom was like, no, she likes it like that. She just didn't want them to be like...
She said she likes it like that.
And that she was different because of the chipped tooth or something. And the daughter was so scared that she just had to say yes. You know, she's like that she didn't want to get it fixed.
Wow.
Yeah. She said that when the mom hit her, like, she felt like stuff in her mouth, and it was the pieces of her tooth.
Oh my.
I know. I'm just like, that is so crazy. But yeah, so I kind of took a break of, like, watching crime stuff, because like I like watching crime. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it's just
some things are too heavy, and
but some things are too heavy, and then, like you said, like, cuando hay niños involved.
Yes.
Like, that's like, it's a lot to take in, you know. But yeah, now I'm watching. If you guys haven't watched it, Club de Cuervos is such a funny show. Like, it's a soccer. I don't even like soccer.
And you're watching it?
And it's a soccer show. But it's just because I know that the main character just cracks me up. Like, you know, so I kind of told him, oh, you should watch this show. And he watched an episode, but I'm about to start watching it by myself. Just like when I work, it's like in the background. In the background. You know? Mm-hmm. So yeah. Have you been watching anything lately? Mm-mm. No? What do y'all, like, you watch movies, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, we watch movies.
Have you seen any movies lately?
We watched this movie called... I don't know, something, when the world ends. No, not like that. Something about the world, but it's like how Civil War will start. Like, our next Civil War, kind of like how it starts.
So it's like more like a documentary?
No, it's a movie. So they kind of like we have a lot of enemies. United States has a lot of enemies, and they hack into our cyber system, and they start messing with our phones. They shut them down. Our satellites are shut down. They start driving Teslas to the Teslas that are electronic. They tapan la ciudad so that nobody gets out, and we just start killing each other.
Wait, is that the one where the Teslas are like in the one street, and then the girl's driving, and
and she's like, what's going on? Let me ask people.
And then, but she's trying to get out, but the Teslas are coming in fast, right? Did she get hit or no?
No, she don't get hit.
Oh, okay. Is it a girl or a guy?
It's a family, but they just drive
back.
It
is a family.
They were on vacation for Airbnb. They rented an Airbnb, and then the owner just shows up saying, like, he kind of knew what was going on.
Oh, okay. Yes. I think I don't remember seeing all of it, but yes, I remember that part specifically because you said that Tesla. But I don't remember like finishing it. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So the end was basically like one of the daughters of the family, she finds a bunker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she finds a bunker and she stays there, and that was the end. And we were like, bro, what happened to everybody else? We just knew that the little girl went to the bunker. Then she started watching the show.
That's scary, right? Well, let's talk about that.
I was telling Kike, like, should we make a bunker? Like, because you just never know.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like, do you guys think about or have a plan, like, if something went down, like, where would you guys go?
Kinda.
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly.
Me and Evelin have talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, man, we would go to the ranchito and, like, it's already fenced up, Yeah. But, like...
But that's for the zombie apocalypse, right?
No, even that, anything else. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I just feel like even that, like...
I definitely get out of the city. Like, I'm leaving to, like, Alvin or, like, somewhere where it's not the city, like...
Yeah. Okay, so if you could pick a store to live off, what store would you pick?
Probably Walmart.
What? Really?
Pues tienen ropa, comida.
Yeah, because I was thinking
Electronics.
Sam's. I was thinking Sam's or like Baybrook, because
Okay.
Baybrook does have like a shitload of stores, you know? But then I'm just like, who's not going to go to Baybrook or who's not going to go to Sam's, And then I'm like, man.
Only the Prime members were going to be allowed.
Hey, I'm a Prime member too. So, yeah, like, 'cause I think, like, would you have time to get out of the city? Because everybody's going to be heading one way,
You'd have to walk probably.
Heck no. Imagine walking to Mexico or something.
That's crazy.
That's like, driving is like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Or 6 hours.
So in the movie, salió como like, this was the scariest part for me. In la movie, there was a plane driving by throwing flyers saying death to America. Just throwing a whole bunch of flyers.
Is that the red flyers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was like a big old snake, and it said death to America. And then in the back, it said something else, but nobody understood it because the front was like in Japanese, but the back was like in another language. Mm-hmm. So you could know that like it's different forces from enemies that it could be
are
like
coming to attack.
Yeah.
Man, it's so scary.
They messed with the planes started crashing, because planes also work under like satellite or whatever.
Yeah, man, that's so crazy. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if it's like that. I don't even know what I would do,
but honestly. It only makes sense for it to happen like that.
Yeah,
it only makes sense.
It's scary that they even make movies about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's scary because it makes me feel like, okay, you're giving ideas to people. Like,
and it almost makes you think like, well, I'm going to go start using the map again because we're GPS people. We don't know where the heck to go, We need our GPS almost all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Not us going to go buy a map book.
Yeah. I was like, I need to become like more nerdy on my survival skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, I think there's certain things... I think I would be able to survive.
Yeah.
I don't know about Milo because... that boy stays hungry, so he'd have to sacrifice a lot, but it's scarier when you have a kid.
Yeah.
Scarier is that's a word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more scary whenever you have a kid.
And
it's
imagine
just like,
if the kid doesn't walk.
Why would you imagine that? Oh, you're saying like a baby?
Yeah. Like imagine like the kid is 100% dependent on you.
Yes, that's super scary.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, we're going to go on a quick break, guys. We'll be back. And we are back. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Is that the movie too, whenever they end up... It's a brother and a sister?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then Ronnie was saying that the brother loses his teeth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? And then what about... They're in a house with a pool.
Yes.
So they share Airbnb with the
owners because...
for a while, no?
Yeah, for a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they end up leaving because the mom or something wants to go to like her family. And that's when they get stuck with the Teslas, and then they have to come back to the Airbnb. Mm-hmm. Oh, when does this daughter find the thing then?
Because she was curious about a house that she had seen. She was very curious about it. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go there," and the brother was like, "No, I'm hungry," and he wanted to go back home, but she stayed curious. And then one night she was telling her mom, "I'm tired of waiting." And her mom was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I'm just tired." And the next day she left. And in the bike, one of the Airbnb bikes, she left and she went into that house.
But not her family.
Mm-mm.
Just her.
Her family was looking for her. They were going crazy because a lot of bad things were happening.
Yeah, because I remember the dad going to the beach, right? Or something like that.
No, it was an Airbnb guy going to the beach and the plane's crashing.
Okay. But there was a bunch of dead bodies, no?
Yes, there was a bunch of dead bodies. Because of
the plane, yeah.
But the dad had gone out to go look for help, and he had seen the airplane flying and throwing flyers.
Oh, yes, in the car, right? Yes. Oh, okay. See, that's scary. Because my instinct would be like, I obviously, as long as I'm with Roland and Milo, I'm fine. Yeah. But then that extra of wanting to get to your immediate family, like your other family, like your parents, your siblings, you know, like that's an extra thing that will be in the back of my mind.
Yeah, and just imagine not having signal, not reaching out to them. You you just can't possibly know what's going on.
Okay, so like you don't have AT&T, right?
No.
Okay, so AT&T was down.
I know, I remember.
Yeah, it was so crazy.
Because my sister, my dad, my mom, they all have AT&T, and I was calling them, and I was like, why aren't they picking up?
Yeah. So
and I freaked out a little bit.
You're like, had you watched the movie then or no?
No, I hadn't.
Oh, okay. Imagine if you had, you probably would have been freaking out more.
What's going on? But then I had gone to Instagram or something, and they were saying that.
Yeah, and then because Roland left the house too, but we didn't know.
Oh, y'all have AT&T.
We have AT&T, yeah. And then I texted Faith, and I said, hey, AT&T is down. So we didn't have internet. But you could I don't think you could do calls. You can't call, and you had to be connected to Wi-Fi to be able to text.
But you didn't even have your Wi-Fi.
My Wi-Fi was working, but it was AT&T. Yeah. I think the phones were down. I don't know. Yeah. It was weird, you know. But, babe, do you remember? Yeah. You went to go drop off Milo, right? When AT&T was down?
No, I went to work.
With your dad? Yeah. Oh, you did?
You went to drop him off. And then I'm like...
Oh, when I left, Roland was going to leave. He wasn't going to be here by the time I came back.
Yeah.
You know, because he had left to work. So we were like out, like basically we hadn't talked, and then it came back
so like 2 p.m. or 3, right?
I don't remember, but yeah, that was just like, damn, I felt so like, damn. Yeah. We really can't do shit without our phones, kind of, you know. It's different when you have the control to put it away.
I honestly feel like they have worked so hard to make us very vulnerable. Like the United States, like really, like the world has made us so vulnerable, and even
so dependable, right?
Yeah, and even in the movie, the Airbnb owner was saying nobody's in control. We're just hoping that the powerful people are just hoping to get a heads up that this is coming and that they can dip, they can go, but everybody else stays. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, but nobody's in control. Like, y'all think somebody's in control and nobody's in control.
Yeah,
we're all scared, afraid.
She said we're all scared, afraid. No, yeah, because I'm just like, I wouldn't mind living in Costa Rica or something, you know, living or going to El Salvador. But then how the hell am I going to get there? Like, you know? Okay, but even thinking about that, imagine that thought, right? Like, how I'm going to get there. Imagine the people that migrate here. Mm-hmm. Like, people from El Salvador that have to go through Honduras and then Guatemala. Yeah. Like, imagine having to go through Guatemala. Mexico is so big.
Yeah,
it's so big, you know, and them having to either walk or cross, catch buses or whatever they do to get here. Like, people really do this, you know. Like, it's mind blowing. Like, I think I talked about it like a actually like a long time ago.
But I honestly feel like if we were under attack, las fronteras would be heavy. They'd be like, no, y'all are not coming in here. Like, if we were really under attack.
Yeah, just like because the United States is so... I feel like we're so... Not we, right? But the United States is just like... I don't know. Do you feel like we're like mean to other...
Yeah, we've low-key made a lot of enemies.
Or do you think it's more like towards Mexico? I feel like we'd be... You think we wouldn't be welcome in Canada? I think we would.
No, we wouldn't.
No? I don't see them having beef.
Like, I don't even think, like, we've made enemies with, like, Russia. We've made it with the Middle East, Mexico. Like, everybody hates us. Yeah.
I don't really get into that because that really does scare me. Yeah. Like, I get scared to even... I should be more informed, honestly. I should be more informed, but it does scare me, like... to get into these details because then it's gonna be some weight that I'm gonna be carrying with me mentally, you know. But like, you see, Russia,
this is a one world order,
you know, huh?
One world order. Like this. That's what you. I don't know if you ever seen Elon Musk. He was like at some Grammy event, and he had a jacket saying "One World Order." That's basically what the world's gonna come. Everybody under one order.
I don't.
Everybody under one government. I think that's.
You think it's possible? I don't think it's possible, because we have too many people like wanting to. Not my big jug, right? Lead. But yeah, like you think people are gonna want,
but nobody's
our
in
president.
Control. Nobody's in control.
You know, the one president I think would be the one that's like the best would be the one from El Salvador, because he's doing so well over there. Like, I see a lot of comments like on Instagram, on TikTok, Instagram, that they're like, man, we need him here, we need him there, because he really doesn't care.
Yeah, but the thing is, because he doesn't.
That's the politics I get into.
He doesn't have anybody controlling him. He basically has his own foundation. Like, there's nobody, whenever, like, even in Mexico, the president's in Mexico.
Well, it's a lot of corruption, see? And then the thing with this president is they were trying to.
Yeah.
But I think it's now to the point that he reversed the system, right? Where it's like the people are going to speak up, right? And there's been, again, I don't really get into politics, right? But I watch his videos, like his conferences.
He came with his own team. Here, the team has been made.
And he came with money.
Yeah.
He came with money, right? So basically, he showed up and basically was like, he did have people supporting him already. He had a few people supporting him. But his thing was calling the people that were corrupted within the system. And then he did so much in such a small time frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now he said it, because it's different when people just say it and then they don't act on it. Right. And he said it and acted on it, you know? And that's why he's like number one right now, right? I take pride in that, because that's crazy. You know, like, I don't know, like, I want to go back to El Salvador, because I feel like it's safer now, you know? But I just really can't imagine the whole world being under one
order.
Yeah, no, because it's just everybody, there's so many people that are like, I'm already at the top.
Well, when we go to World War III, it's gonna happen.
Damn, why are you speaking it into existence?
It's just a matter of time. Like, this is history. That's how it is. It's history. Things get repeated, you know?
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, you know how...
And then low-key, right after World War III, everybody's going to be religious and, oh, my God, and ta-da-da. And it's going to be, like, another sprout of religion. And then we're all going to go to crap again with...
Yeah. Babe, whenever we went to Discovery Green, remember that there was, like, a bunch of cars? Well, who were they? What was it?
Discovery Green. Oh, it was like for the Palestine thing.
Yeah, for the Palestine. There was a bunch of cars. Like, even that, it scared me, because I'm just like, these people are like in their cars. They were not protesting.
Yeah, they were, like,
that's what it was.
It was a lot of cars and honking.
Like, como para llamar la atención, you know? Yeah. Which, to me, that scares me, because I feel like I'm in an area where they're kind of like protesting, you know? And it scares me that somebody can get pissed off and like do something about it. And I don't want to be in that space, you know, especially with Milo. Like, we went to Discovery Green for the playground, and
they're very known by bombs.
And then it's just like so it just like little things like that see me asustan, you know. But enough of that. Let's get into Disney.
Yeah. Let's get into Disney.
So when you grew up, would you watch Disney Channel or like any Disney movies?
Yeah, we would watch Disney Channel.
Yeah. What was one of your favorite Disney movies?
I think La Blancanieves.
Oh, really? Snow White?
Was
really?
Probably one.
I just showed Milo.
Beauty
like
and the Beast was one of my favorites.
Really?
Too.
I just showed Milo Snow White, like the movie, and he watched all of it. But it's so old school.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy because on Disney Plus, since it's such an old movie, obviously they make little racist or remarks, you know, so they put a warning before the movie plays.
Why?
Because it's such an old movie.
Oh, like saying sorry for the
like warning, content. Like, you know, there could be some racial or whatever, you know, things on there. Like, so yeah, but it's so crazy because, you know, Snow White, but she was 16 and the prince was like 30 something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
I didn't know that.
Yes, girl. Like, that's why it's a big thing. Like, they're like, man, like como que es un pedophile. Let's see, princess ages and prince. Disney Princess and Princess ages. Let me see if it tells me.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Okay. Snow White was actually 14 And I was so off, guys. I was so off. Snow White was 14 and the prince was 17, 18.
No pasa nada.
No pasa nada. Damn, I was off by a lot.
So who's the pedophile here?
That's what I'm gonna see right now. None really, but I guess maybe I just seen it like on TikTok, you know.
They be lying.
They be lying.
Like princess and prince ages.
Yeah, I looked it up. So basically, okay, let me see. So Snow White was 14 and the prince was 17, 18. Mm-hmm. Cinderella was 19, Prince Henry was 19. Mm-hmm. Aurora, Sleeping Beauty, she was 16 and Prince Philip was 20. And then Ariel was 16 and Prince Eric was 18.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, Belle was 17 and Prince Adam was 21.
The 14 is probably the crazy one, though.
Yeah, Jasmine was 16 and Aladdin was 18. Mulan was 16 and the guy that she got with was 18. Tiana was 19. She's the first that I see that is like actual legal age. Yeah. Tiana was 19 and the prince was 20. But Tiana was an adult in her movie.
Yeah.
You know, she looked like an adult. Mm-hmm. She had an adult job y todo. Rapunzel was 18 because, and in the movie, I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
She is celebrating her 18th birthday. And Eugene, he's 24. But it's the regular age gap.
Yeah. And
then Merida, she's 16, but she doesn't get with anybody. Ana, la de Elsa, ella tenía 18 y Kristoff was 21. Elsa was 21. So they're not bad.
Yeah.
But I guess the Snow White, that's why Snow White stuck in my mind maybe because it was just like she was the youngest.
Yeah, 14 years old.
Okay, out of like the princesses. But so out of all the princesses, I have a few more. So we have, so it's saying the Disney lead female country, like the origin, right?
Yeah.
Snow White, Germany. Yeah. Cinderella, France. Alice in Wonderland, have you seen that one? England. Peter Pan, England. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
The whole conspiracy, the Peter Pan? Yeah. So basically, let me see if I can pull up.
I actually haven't seen Peter Pan as an adult. I've only seen it as a child.
Okay, man, as Roland, like I watch the Disney movies like
over and over again.
Like there's no tomorrow. Like I like to watch him. Let me see. Peter Pan conspiracy. Am I saying that right?
Conspiracy theory.
Okay, so let me see. It says about it. One of the theories suggests that the character Peter Pan represents the spirit of a dead child. While another, let me see. I don't know. I'm gonna look into it, guys. But going back into the other stuff,
I'm gonna watch it and then I'll tell you what I think about it.
Yeah, I'll send. I'll send you the conspiracy that I found. But basically, they're saying that the Hook guy, is the good guy, and the Peter Pan's the bad guy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like it's so crazy, like because Peter Pan takes the kids. Yeah. Se los lleva a una land, right? Right.
Yeah, and los burros and all that, right? Se convierten en burros,
Con Peter Pan, isn't that Pinocchio?
Oh, that is Pinocchio.
I was like, wait, what? But he takes them. I haven't seen it in a while, right? Yeah. Peter Pan. I want to watch it, but I haven't seen it. I can't remember specifically, but they were saying como que he takes the kids to the whatever land. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me look it up. Peter Pan story. Peter Pan story. Peter Pan story summary. So basically, Peter Pan, a boy who never grows up, takes the children to a magical Neverland where Wendy mothers the lost boys. The children go on adventures with fairies, mermaids, and pirates, with Wendy becoming such a good mother that the pirates ask her to be his too, basically, right? Mm-hmm. A ese land. So basically, it's just como que se está... And if you're looking at it from the outside perspective, it's like he's stealing these kids and taking them to this land,
and the
right?
other older guy with the hook is trying to save him?
He was one of the kids that he took there. Y se escapó. Oh. And he grew up. And that's why he was like, no, like, this is not right, you know? Y se escapó y por eso quiere cachar a Peter Pan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's I don't know. It's like one of those stories, you know, and I'm like, that makes sense. And then how the boat okay, so you know how in Tarzan, have you seen that movie? Those parents, their boat crashes, right? Supposedly their boat crashed and they were going to Rapunzel's wedding. And it's connected
all
like that.
Up?
Yeah,
what?
yeah. And then the boat in The Little Mermaid is el boat de los papás de Tarzan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, it's a bunch of stuff, but for sure, like, it's a lot. It's all connected.
Yeah.
Let's see. Disney movies connected. And let me see. Oh yeah, Frozen. And then the parents that Frozen died going to, I think it was them. I think it was Frozen's parents going to the Tangled Rapunzel's wedding, and that's when they died. Something like that. Yeah, because it says Frozen is connected to several other Disney films, including Tangled, The Little Mermaid, Pinocchio, and even Hercules. I don't know how Hercules is connected. Have you seen that movie?
No. I think I saw it when I was little, but
oh really? I just recently saw it with Milo, and I'm just like, it's so crazy how like Hades comes out and he's like, you know, like obviously that's a different esos son como like a different belief, right? Like a different religion. Porque it's like, do they call the devil Hades?
I don't know.
But I know it's Lucifer, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Lucifer.
We know that means like bright light or something like that, like beautiful light.
Lucifer? Really?
Because he was a bright light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's a fallen angel, no?
Yeah, but that's his name. That's the name Jesus gave him, or God gave him.
Yeah, because there's a show called Lucifer, and it's a good show.
Yeah.
Like, if y'all watch it, it's a funny show. I watched it, all of it.
Yeah.
And I was watching the show, and I'm like, man, I think I like this name for my kid. But then it's just like, really?
But it is a nice name.
Yeah, it is a nice name.
It comes from a good place, from God, you know. God did call him.
But it's one of those things, like, whenever you see somebody you don't like, and you're like, I don't like that name because you don't like that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's how Lucifer is now. I feel like it just has that bad, you know, light to it because
I honestly don't know, why did he become the devil? Like, why did they call him that?
What, the devil?
Yeah. Is it because, like, I don't even think he has horns, honestly. And like the devil has horns or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
and then the chicken legs or something like that too, no?
Yeah, I guess, but I don't imagine him like that.
Yeah, I've also heard like stories, you know how ghost stories are like, oh, salió the devil, whatever. I've heard he's handsome. He can come off as handsome, right? And in my head, I'm like, how could he not if he was an angel?
Yeah.
But he's a fallen angel, right? Like, it's so scary. Like, it's so scary to even think that you could even, if you think about it, if you put us all in a box and if somebody saw us talking right now, they'll be like, these bitches are crazy. What are they even talking about? Like, if it's somebody that just doesn't believe, right? Because believing is a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally like, I believe in God, guys, but I'm about to say something crazy. Like, you're believing, like, if you're a non-believer, you're really looking at us like, what are you believing on?
Yeah.
Like,
you've never seen it.
He's
never came down to tell you I'm real.
Yeah.
Like, it's all an illusion almost. Like,
it's all mental.
A fantasy.
Or maybe we're like crazy. Like, you know, it's literally all about your faith and believing. But then somebody that doesn't believe is like, I don't believe and I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I just really, like, sometimes thoughts like that cross my head. I'm just like Milo, like, any little thing, I'm going to tell Diosito. And me and Roland went to go run this morning.
He really believes it.
He really believes. Like, and I'm glad. I'm happy for him, you know, because, or maybe I just feel like maybe it's another thing too, like, where we needed something in our lives. I don't know, the people from back in the day, right? Like, needed to believe in something to keep the good in the world or something. Like, we needed to have that, the God.
Praise something. We need to praise something that gave us hope.
To help us that gave us hope and to help us stay in the right lane. Yeah. You know? And if you didn't, then, oh, you're bad. And, you know, the devil and blah, blah, blah. You know? The good and the bad. But yeah, me and Roland were running. We went to go run this morning. And it was funny because we were talking about God, right? And I'm just like, man, God's probably tired of Milo, because Milo
I'm gonna tell Diosito.
Yeah, but he also doesn't only do that, but like when we'll buy something over and he'll eat something, he's like, thank you, mommy, thank you, papi, thank you, Diosito. Like, he'll do that. Siempre se persina. But I'm gonna tell Diosito, like if Diosito's like his best friend or something, And we were laughing because Roland's like, man, he's probably like, that God's probably like, here goes Milo again. Like,
calling my name.
But yeah, it's crazy because he's so little and he has this strong belief for God. And I didn't even tell you what he told my mother-in-law, because my mother-in-law was like, because we haven't been to church, right? And she's like, oh, Milo, I'm gonna take you. She tells us all the time, like, oh, y'all need to go to church. I need to go to church. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get it into on my weekly schedule, right?
Yeah.
Which it is. I've been thinking about it, right? And not that I have to think about it. It's just like, I just need to go, you know? And I want to take Milo because he literally, the times I'm like, I'm gonna go, he's like, it's boring.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to anymore, which I get it because he's a kid, So my mother-in-law told him, I'm going to take you to church, to Diosito's house, right? And he's like, no. And she's like, why not? And he's like, Diosito lives at my house. I don't need to go to his house. And then my mother-in-law's like, no, you need to go visit him at his house. And he's like, no, he lives at my house. I don't have to go to his house. He's at my house already, But she was so amazed that he genuinely thinks he lives here.
Really
Yeah, like that he's here with us. Like we have the big... it's a crucifix, right? And then
you have like your altar.
Yeah, and then in our room we have like a cross too, and then in his room teníamos la familia sagrada.
Yeah,
that's what it is, right? And we had it in his room, but we just took it down because he was playing with the ball, and then we didn't want him to break it, so we took it down. And yesterday or 2 days ago, he's like, "Can you put Diosito back in my room?" And I'm just like, "Okay," because he says he has 4.
Yeah,
he has the one on the wall. He has another crucifix that my mom gave him, and then he has his chain, and then he has a little un nacimiento chiquito de madera.
Yeah.
So he's like, I have 4, but right now I have 3.
Yeah.
I need to have 4 Diositos in my room, and I'm just like, okay, But in my head, I'm just like, damn, he's only 5, and he's already like, his belief is like super strong.
Yeah. And it's crazy because ahorita que me dices esto, right? I remember what they were talking to us in mass yesterday. The priest that was giving the homily or sharing the word of God, right? He was saying, what makes you guys think that you will go to heaven if you don't enjoy coming to church? Like, you don't enjoy praising him. You don't enjoy doing the things that he's asking you. Like, that's all we get to do in heaven. Praise him, worship him, sing to him, talk about him, God is going to respect you so much that he knows you're not going to enjoy heaven. He's going to send you where you enjoy yourself. You enjoy you enjoy doing the things that your family likes to do. You enjoy that. So he's going to send you in isolation where it's all about you and not about him. And I was like, wow, like I'd never seen it that way.
Yeah.
Porque nos cuesta to like give God some time.
Yeah.
To praise
But the
him.
time is, but that's my question. Like, is God giving him the time is literally the only qualifying time? Is it only going to church?
No, it's really just always having him, giving him the first thought and the last thought at night and in the morning.
Yeah, because in my head, I'm like, okay.
Or like the conversation that you had with Roland, that's you're giving God time.
Yeah, because like I see, because I feel like there is priests and there is like people in church that literally, like for example, my mother-in-law, like she'll be like, oh, Elias goes to church, and Milo's like, okay,
so, yeah.
But it's just like I tell her, I'm like,
but the thing is, like, you have to like it, you have to genuinely enjoy that.
Yeah, and see, like Roland's at the point that he's just like, we just haven't found the right church.
Yeah,
why am I gonna go to a church where I can't even focus?
But the thing is, like, is he seeking finding one? You know what I mean?
No, he's not.
Or is he just saying, you know what I mean?
It's more me though too. Like I do ask people like, oh, what church do you go to? Because if I know they're Catholic and I know they go, just out of curiosity, so I can have some in my mind. But I also feel like because when my mother-in-law tells me, like, I'm just like, I don't know if she's trying to like guilt us or what, because we don't go, and my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law go. But to me, it's just like, man, like I feel like Milo, like he does the Padre Nuestro and he's like so he's doing so much better.
Yeah.
And he's only 5. If I didn't care to teach him, he wouldn't know.
Yeah.
A Padre Nuestro. When I didn't learn that till I was like in 3rd grade. He's in kinder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like I tell her, I'm like, yes, I agree. We do have to go to church, you know? But I also feel like we do have to go to church, but I also feel like we're doing a great job at teaching him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think she's not just talking about him. I think he's like for you guys too.
Oh, no. Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Yeah. I think it's just like, but just to go to church.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know if in her head or other people's head, it's just like, oh, they don't go to church. They don't praise God or something, you know.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like we talk about God so much in our household. Like, it's crazy. Like, you know, I don't know. Let's go on a quick break and we'll be back. When we are back, but yeah, I just feel like, yes, I want to go and get the body of Christ, you know, because I think that's like my main focus. But then again, I just don't know any better, you know. But yeah, so then it's just like, I also feel like I don't want to go to church just to be like, oh, here you go. I went to church, you know.
No, you actually have to enjoy it. Like I said, you actually want to go. Como like my dad is the type like, no, yo no voy, like, because the same thing, you know, like for him, he's like, I don't have to go to church to be saved. I don't have to go to church to.
Yeah, that's how Roland is.
Yeah, but it really did make sense how the priest said, like, what makes you think God is gonna allow you into his home when he knows that you don't enjoy going to his home, you know? Like, he's not gonna let you enter into his heavenly kingdom because you don't enjoy doing things that involve him.
Yeah.
You know, so, or reading the word of God, or
yeah, but that's what I'm saying, like, is the qualifying time of enjoying being only at church.
No, like, you have to enjoy talking about him. You have to enjoy really doing everything out of love.
Yeah.
So you're cooking and you're enjoying cooking.
But do you feel like your
love.
dad, like, genuinely loves talking about God?
Mm-mm. It's always beef when we talk about God.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it always turns into beef. Like, I know, yo no, like, or he'll be like, no a mí no me queda el saco, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, like, it's always like, especially him and my mom, they always get into an argument when talking about God.
Okay, like my father-in-law, he goes to church, but I know damn well he's going to church because he don't want to deal with my mother-in-law. Like, I know he likes going, but I don't think he loves going.
Yeah,
he just more like, he literally goes. And I just see him and he'll just be like a regular Mexican man in church. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Lo hace por cumplir nomás.
Por cumplir.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I feel. I could be wrong. You know? But, cause, and it's always a thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, my mother-in-law has been talking about us going to, she got to the point that I know my sister and my brother-in-law go now. Right?
But it's annoying.
Yeah. Cause I'm just like, and it's like, don't even, like, let's not even. And then because she just did it like last week or something, we were at a party and she did it in front of Roland's tia and tia, right? She said the story about Milo, you know, and I told Roland's tia because they go to church. All of Roland's family goes to church. I think we're the only ones that probably don't go to church. Out of Roland's brothers, we're the ones that don't go, but we're the ones that used to go all the time, you know, but we just literally COVID is what
y'all got busy.
No, not even that. It's just we just stopped going after COVID because it's just like, if you think about it, it's just so it's like se contradicen ellos solo, you know, so it's just hard to do something whenever you're COVID and they're like, no kids allowed.
Yeah.
And now you're giving me shit because I don't take my kid, right? One. Or only the first people that show up can get in church. Well, what about the people that live 30 minutes away that they're really trying to get there? You know, not that it's an excuse, right? But COVID is just like, it stopped a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just like, we stopped going.
And it made a lot of people mad.
All the rules that or just like, which I get because it was for everybody's safety, you know, but it's a lot of things. So whenever we were talking about it, she wasn't bashing me or anything. My mother-in-law, she wasn't, but she was sharing the story about Milo. And I was telling them, I'm like, yeah, because we talk about God, you know, I'm like, Milo thanks God all the time, like literally, or I don't think there's a day Milo does not mention God, like, you know. So I told them, I'm like, I think we're doing a great job at explaining to him and teaching him about God and just having him be a part of like God being a part of his daily routine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, and that's when I was just like, yeah, like the Padre Nuestro. I just take pride in that, like that he's learning the Padre Nuestro, you know. But that's just because I know I take the time to teach him.
Yeah.
You know, or like the prayer you sent me. Like, how does he even jump in at a random time? You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
it's already kind of engraved.
Yeah, it's just like, that's so random, you know. But it's just like, if we didn't care, you know, then but then I'm just like, yeah, I want to go back, but I'm gonna go back like not that I'm not going back on God's time, you know, but I'm gonna go back like, and I don't want to say on my time, but when the timing is right, you know. But yeah, guys, that's enough about.
But yeah, like even that, like I have things even in my own personal life, like my daily prayer that I don't do anymore, that I used to do. Right? That I go to mass every Sunday, you know, but I also used to have a strict routine where I would pray every single day at a certain time, and it all went away once I got married. So now it's like trying to get back into that routine with my husband, that we have a routine where we specify these 20 minutes for God every day.
Another question is, so in the Bible, it does say that when you go to heaven, you're only praising God. Oh, okay. Because I was like, where did they get that from?
Yeah, that's all you do.
Yeah.
I'll praise God.
That sounds kind of boring.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I know, that sounds bad, but it's like, realistically,
it makes you already think like, I don't enjoy it. You already are in the category of people that
of going to hell, basically. Yeah. Like, which is crazy because
that doesn't enjoy,
like, if you had
God.
Like, if I was able to sit down with the priest, I would need a lot of questions answered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot.
And then a lot of those questions won't be, because even I have a lot of questions. But
what's a question that goes through your head
all the time? That I always say, God doesn't know what's my next move. He doesn't. How
doesn't he have like your plan out already?
Yeah, like I'm like, no, he don't. He just hopes that I choose good. And Kike is like, no, he already knows. He knows every single move you're gonna make. I'm like, if I choose hell, then he knew and he still made me.
But then in my head, I'm just like, how does he know the move, right? If that's your question.
He still allows it.
And he still like, put it in the worst case scenario.
Like that woman.
A kid. Yeah. Okay, that woman and the kid. Did God know, right?
Exactly. And I'm like, I cannot believe that God knew
that
and he allowed it.
Hurt. Yeah, and that he allowed it.
Yeah. That's why I was like, no, he cannot know. Because then he'd be a very mean God. You know, he's not.
Yeah. And then that's the thing too, like, because Roland's like, I want to raise Milo where he doesn't fear God, but I also want him to respect him.
Yeah.
You know? He's like, because I grew up fearing God.
Yeah.
Because of the way his mom raised him, right? But it's just so many questions. Like, it makes I hate it because I know you're not supposed to question.
Yeah.
But we're humans.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. That's a big question that I have for God. Like, you didn't know, right? You just can't possibly know, right? Because we screw up a lot and we've made the world into a horrible, horrible place. And I just cannot fathom that you knew it all and you still allowed it. You know? Like, I'm like, right? You just hope that we choose right, but we don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right?
Right? But Kike, for him, he's like, no, he knows it all. And I'm like, no, dude, it's not possible. Not my God. Probably your God, but not mine.
At this point, we all have different gods, like, you know, because in my mind, I know God's not judging me, like, for what I'm doing in my life. And even Roland, he'll be like, I know.
Good. Yeah, for you,
he'll be like,
I'm at peace.
Like, he's like, I know I'm a good guy. You know, he's like, I know that God knows I'm a good guy. Yeah. He's like, he'll be like, how is, not his mom, right? But he's like, how is somebody going to tell me I'm going to go to hell because I didn't go to church?
Yeah.
When I know that somebody that probably killed somebody is at church right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, just because you show up doesn't mean that, you know, I don't know. It's such a crazy conversation.
I think that's the thing. We should never compare ourselves to another soul.
Oh, for sure.
You know, you should never compare yourself.
But then we're human. Yeah. And we do it in every aspects of our lives. Like, you compare how you are as a mom.
I think that's why my dad doesn't like church, because he's like, hay muchos hipócritas allá.
Oh, for sure.
Why would I want to go there?
For sure.
And it's like, Dad, like, you
don't worry about nobody else.
Yeah, you have to pay attention that your candle is lit. Don't look at anybody else's candle, because yours is going to turn off. If you are out here looking at people's candles, making sure that their candle is lit on, yours is going to turn off. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. Like Berlin's like always telling Berlin's mom, like he's telling his mom, like, oh, las criticonas or something from church, you know, and she'll just laugh because and she'll laugh because she knows that, not her specifically, right, but it's just, she knows that when she's at church they talk a lot, you know, and she's just like, she laughs because it's true, like they do talk a lot, but it's just like, I don't know, I just feel like, again, for you guys, if y'all aren't Catholic, I just feel that if you have God in your heart, like you said, and you do your own thing and focus on yourself, like you said, right? I think you should be fine.
Don't look at what anybody else is doing. Everybody has their own journey.
And everybody has their own beliefs too, because Buddha, that he's considered a god, right? In some people's lives. Yeah.
And even God will judge you to the capacity of what you were able to do, not to like the capacity of what I was able to do. You know, like what God trusted me to do is what God trusted me to do, and what God trusted you to do is what God trusted you to do. So if God gave you a little bit of knowledge about him, he just trusted that you were faithful to that little bit of knowledge that he gave you. But if God gave me all this knowledge, then he is trusting me that I come through with all the knowledge that he's giving me.
And what about do you know about Buddha or no?
A little bit, because I have a couple clients that
believe in him.
Yeah.
So who do you know the story or what?
He was just a very wealthy guy. Like Buddha was very wealthy,
and he was really that fat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he was wealthy, and so they started worshiping him because he just looked wealthy. He had a lot of food. He lived in an amazing temple or whatever, and people were very poor back in the day in Asia. So.
Oh, he's from Asia? So how the hell did he come over here? Like, I don't get it.
Because of all the Asian people.
Okay, because my grandma used to have the little pendant, the Buddha, and she liked wearing the green. I know her favorite color was green.
Yeah.
But I also know she was a big, like, God believer. Like, she was like, I don't know if she believed in Buddha because of the money. Like, I don't know what the belief was. I don't know.
Wealth,
so I've always so I wonder if that's what it was, that she liked it, you know? Because I remember I think I still have I have a glass bracelet. It doesn't fit me, but I have a glass bracelet, and it's the green one. Yeah. The Buddha color one. Yeah. Like, I know, and
it's like marbly, right? Like marble.
Yeah. And I know my grandma believed like in that. But my grandma, like, I when I tell you, my grandma had her little altar in my room.
That's why, like, the offerings for Buddha is like food.
Oh, okay. She didn't have an altar. Like, she did not have an altar for Buddha, but I know she had like the necklace of it, you know. But she did have her altar in my room, and she always she had family pictures, you know, and she always would put carnations. Siempre, I kid you not, it was all the time. Tenía carnations, like new ones, you know. And every night and every morning she would stand there and pray, and then every night, every morning, siempre. And I remember seeing her, like, that's such a vivid memory for me, to see her when I'm laying down and I'm just watching her, like, pray. Yeah. Like, but my grandpa was like a straight up, there's no God. Like, straight up. Yeah. And that's so hard. It's so crazy. Like, yeah, he was like, nah, I did this by myself. You know, he didn't do anything for me, you know? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he probably looked at my grandma like she was crazy. Yeah. But I mean, to each their own.
Yeah, like even that, my dad was really sick once, and I told him, oh, pues dale gracias a Dios that you feel a lot better now, you know. He's like, qué fregados, like, el doctor fue el que me me inyectó y me hizo sentir mejor. Like, not God. Like,
so he's like a non-believer?
No, he believes, right? But in his own way. And he tries to, like, llevarnos la contraria all the time. Like, if we tell him, oh, thank God, just like Roman.
Your dad does not look like that type.
He's just funny. He thinks it's funny to be like that. He likes
to piss y'all off.
Yeah. He's like, gracias a Dios, no.
Roland does that to his mom. He'll do that to his mom, like, on purpose.
Yeah, he's just a funny guy. Yeah. But sometimes he is for real.
No, my grandpa was for real. Yeah. Like, I know I've said it on here before. But yeah, he was for real. Like, he did not give a shit. Like, I remember I would be like, damn, he's wild. And I was little.
And your grandma would tell you, like, just pray for him, right?
Yeah, she would tell me, like, in my ear, like, oh, like, she'll whisper, like, oh, he'll walk away, like, just pray for him. Está menso or something. You know, he don't know. He don't know any better. And I would take it as a job to pray for him.
I got you, grandma.
Like, to pray for him, you know. And I think I've said it on here before too, that I remember, I don't know if I have, but I remember sitting on his lap, and then I was like, what happens after death? Or something like that, you know, like what happens when you die? And I was a kid. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, you just close your eyes forever. And I'm like, and it's just dark. And he's like, yeah. But that sounds so realistic.
Yeah.
It sounds so realistic. Like, right? You die and
you close your eyes forever. But I just feel like
you're like asleep.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, I used to work at the cemetery. So I'm just like, I don't know. Like, it's crazy to think that there's something in you, like a spirit, mm-hmm. and that it gets lifted up, mm-hmm. and you go to heaven. Like, it's so hard to think that's
what happens. Well, actually, since scientifically, like, they've proven that does happen
scientifically. Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't know that.
That you actually lose ounces from your body once you completely die, because a force is being lifted off of you.
You have to send me something about that, because I need to look into that, because
mm-hmm. It's been proven scientifically that in the Eucharist it's really Jesus Christ. Yeah.
How?
It's been proven scientifically. Like, there was one guy who was what is it called, like whenever you don't believe in anything,
a non-believer?
Yeah, like in anything. He's just straight up science.
I can't think of the word, but I know what you're talking about.
So he took it upon himself to start studying the crazy Catholics. Like, how the heck are you going to really believe that in that piece of bread is Jesus, right? Mm-hmm. So he took it upon himself to go everywhere where they said, this is the blood, that God's blood was in the Eucharist. And because it was a miracle, he's like, he took it upon himself to go and prove scientifically that that's not true. That's not possible. And he came out with, like, news of, like, now it's for real, it's real. Like, when he tested some of the Eucharist, he's like, it's actually a heartbeat. Like, the blood is testing for a heartbeat that is beating right now. Like, it's a beating heartbeat. Like, and he couldn't believe it.
That kind of gave me the chills, because I guess I have to see it.
Yeah, you have to see it.
I have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, and like, you absolutely have to see it to believe it. Pero in the Bible it says, dichosos aquellos que no han visto y creen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, because I'm telling you, it's like when I go to church, my goal is to get the body of Christ. Yeah. This is so weird. I cannot go to church if I have not confessed.
Because you feel like, ¿para qué?
I feel like it's a waste. I feel like it's a waste, which is so crazy, because I'm just like, for what? Like,
no vas a comulgar, yeah.
Yeah, literally.
But I'm going to send you that video, because when I probably saw it like 3 times, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, this scientific guy who didn't believe now believes just because he proved that it is Christ's blood in that Eucharist.
Yeah. But I also, like, I have my friend Yara, Nicole's mom, right? Yeah. They're Christians, mm-hmm. and they don't use the body of Christ.
I think they kind of do sometimes, don't they? That they just give them, like, a little cup of wine and a little piece of bread. I don't know.
I don't think so.
But it's, like, in resemblance.
I think it just depends, like, what church it is. But I'm just like, how? But she's such a good person. Mm-hmm. You know, in my eyes, like, I'm just like, man, you're an amazing person. I can talk to you about God. Like, you know, I went through something difficult in my life, and we're different religions, and she helped me get through it with the word of God. Yeah. I mean, we're different religions. Yeah. You know, but they don't use the body of Christ. Mm-hmm. And I'm here not going to church because I haven't confessed to a priest for the body of Christ. Yeah. Like, it just sounds crazy, you know, but I mean, I guess to each their own. But with that being said, guys, that's the end of this episode. We will be back next week. Don't forget, we're dropping every Friday at 12 p.m. Mm-hmm. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and on YouTube. Peace.
Bye.